What's up, people? Mike here, and this is Wolfenstein: The New Order on the Uber difficulty. So I cut out the beginning part of this chapter. When you're on the plane, you have to cut off like the gas valve, and then you jump into the gunner's seat to save the allied planes and everything. Since I test ran that section like 3 different times on Uber and I never died during it. I always got down pretty low on like the plane health. It never dropped below like 36%, I think. So I didn't really see a point of keeping that whole beginning part in. I don't know if you can get crushed by that mechanical foot when it comes into the water. I feel like it's scripted where it always hits the ground in front of you. So I don't think you need to worry about that thing crushing you. So yeah, just take out those two mechanical hounds, and now we're really getting into the actual not really meat of the game, but the actual combat sections of the game. When you drop down here, you can kill these first 2 soldiers, just so that when you eventually get down into that section, you don't have to worry about those 2 particular guys giving you any problems. So the quicker you can deal with them, the better. The other thing I should mention, when I originally started to do this guide, I was going to make it a collectibles guide at the same time, because when you start a new game, it says that your perks and upgrades and everything get reset, but the collectibles don't get reset. So there's a moment, I think it's a little bit later, where I go to where I know the map that gives you the layout of the location of everything, and it's not there. So there's a moment where I'm just kind of like looking at where it is until I like bring up the collectibles menu, and then notice that everything is unlocked already. And the other thing that all the perks that I have, they not necessarily got reset. I still have to like earn certain perks, but the progression of like the kills to get to each perk don't get reset. So if you finished like the game the first time on normal and you had like 30 knife kills, like with thrown knives or stealth kills, and you start a new game on Uber, you still have those 30, like the game still recognizes that you did those 30 kills, even though technically it should completely reset it to 0 and everything. So even though like right there where I unlocked the grenade, the throwback perk or whatever it was called, that I think that's in the tactical perk lineup. Like everything is still technically there. Like it's weird. I feel like the game didn't do a proper job of resetting a lot of those things like it's supposed to when you start a new game. But at the same time, maybe, you know, I might have just not understood the process properly. So And then I kind of realized that after when I did here, I don't know if you actually need to come into this area like I do. I believe when actually no, never mind. I'm thinking about something else. But this is the area where I was going to where the map is that basically shows you the entire, like when you bring up the map, it isn't all blacked out. And there's that moment where I looked at it, I was like, wait, why is the map not there? And I bring up the actual in-game map and I notice that I can see everything. But I haven't quite figured out the fact that the collectibles haven't been reset either. So yeah, but there's like plenty of collectible guides on YouTube already. The main one that I'm actually gonna be using to clear up the missing ones that I have are from Power PYX, Power Pix. I'm not sure how you actually say the guy's username. But the other thing is in areas where when you have the commanders, if you do a stealth kill on them, you on the map it'll actually highlight where collectibles are with a question mark. So for some areas, like, you don't necessarily need a guide for them, since you can kind of get indicators on where some of the collectibles may be. Sometimes if it's like a multi-level area, it might be a little confusing where you have to go for it, but the other thing I should mention before this video is over is that the one thing you'll notice, even though this is on Uber difficulty, there is still some health regeneration, just like how it is on normal, where if you get your health down to like 50, it'll regen back up to 60, and vice versa. So the health still regens by 20s, even though it's on Uber, which I'm kind of surprised. I would have figured for Uber are very hard that the little bits of health regeneration wouldn't be there to make it somewhat more of a challenge. But at the same time, I'm kind of glad that they didn't completely get rid of that, because there are some areas a little bit later on where that very small health regen will come in handy. And I should also mention now, at the end of the video, when you have to choose who to save, Fergus or Wyatt, I'm gonna save Fergus, mainly because with his timeline you get health upgrades. The Wyatt timeline kind of sucks on the basis that you do get armor upgrades, but your armor never goes past 100. All it does is that it increases the amount of armor you get from pickups. So you can get to 100 armor a lot quicker with pickups on his timeline, but it never goes past 100, which I thought was what would happen with his, being that the health goes past 100, but instead with his, it's just that the amount of armor you get from a single pickup gets increased. So that's why for Uber I just felt it was better to go with the Fergus timeline, just because there's like 10 health upgrades, so you can get your health to a total of 200, which for the London Monitor and the Deathshead boss fight, you want to have as much health as you can. So this was the point when you get introduced to the commanders. You really want to try and get a headshot on him quickly, just because if you alert him, he'll call in like reinforcements, and it'll be just a little bit more challenging. And at the end of this video, you can go either to the right or the left. I would go towards the right where I go, because it's a quicker passageway to the inside compound that you need to get to. So just like lob a grenade in there, and I'll see you in part 2.